Hi everybody and welcome to You Can Cook Anything with Bob and JP. I'm Bob and you're not JP.
I'm not.
This is JP and my niece Sydney. And Sydney's here today to cook for us Shrimp Mozambique. Sydney, why don't you tell everybody who may not know, what is Shrimp Mozambique?
So Shrimp Mozambique is a popular Portuguese dish that dates back to the 15th century in a time where Portuguese explorers would go to colonize around the world, such as Mozambique in Africa, where they discovered a pepper that would help them create the dish.
What was that pepper called?
PDP.
PDP. And you said it without laughing.
I did.
Very impressed. So stick with us because we're going to go through the ingredients list. Sydney's going to show you how to put it all together, and we're going to make
Shrimp Mozambique.
All right, Sydney, so what are the ingredients to make this dish?
So to start, one 12-ounce bottle of beer.
And that should be a pilsner or really mild IPA. Stay away from stouts, stay away from any strong bitter IPAs.
Then about 1/4 cup of hot sauce, which is the PDP sauce. About 12 to 15 cloves of garlic. 3/4 cup of milk. And 2 packets of Sazon, which is a seasoning that also adds that red color to the dish.
Yeah, so let's tell everybody a little bit about this because this is interesting stuff. So the company that we're using is this Goya product. Sazon has cilantro and this thing called achiote in it. So a lot of people think when they use this, they're actually using saffron. They're not. It would be incredibly expensive if it was saffron. Achiote are basically seeds from a pod that grow on the achiote tree that can be found in a lot of places. They use it quite a bit in Mexico. It doesn't have too much flavor, but it's all color. It turns everything orangey red, and the more you use, the more red it gets. It's pretty cool stuff. What else?
Yeah, so next, 1 stick of butter.
The whole stick of butter?
The whole stick of
The
butter.
whole stick of butter. All right.
And about 1/4 block of cream cheese.
All right, hold on. Living in the area we live in, I have had a lot of Shrimp Mozambique. I have never had or made it with cream cheese. What's that all about?
Well, it basically is just my variation of Shrimp Mozambique. I actually almost stumbled upon the recipe that I put together one day after school after a big AP US history exam. It was very tiring, so I got home. Then I had a basketball tournament at 8 at night, so I didn't get home till very late. So me and my brother were just finding something to eat in the fridge after that long day. I pull out some leftover Shrimp Mozambique and thought, what if I just threw some cream cheese in there? So I did. It was probably one of the best things that I've ever had, and didn't even think that I would do that night being half asleep and cooking.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
See, this is part of what we talk about on this channel. Doing something different, using the ingredients you have. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. All right.
Yeah.
What else? Obviously, there's some shrimp.
Yep, 2 pounds of shrimp usually fits the recipe well.
All right, good. Keep in mind you want them peeled, right?
Yep.
And deveined.
Yes.
It's important you devein your shrimp. It's poop. Don't eat poop. Devein your shrimp. You can buy them that way. Also, this is really important. These are shrimp from New Orleans. I cannot stress enough that you buy US produced shrimp. It's about cleanliness. There's plenty of videos online where you can see the shrimp farms in Southeast Asia and in other areas. They're horrendous. If you look at those, I guarantee you'd never buy shrimp when you look at the package unless it says New Orleans. It is going to be a couple bucks more, but you will be happier and cleaner and safer and better tasting. And what pasta are you using?
Just linguine, and any type of long noodle will be fine for this.
How much linguine for this size dish?
A whole box, so 16 ounces.
All right, pound of linguine. Awesome. The other thing is she's already got a pot of water boiling on the stove to do the pasta. It's mildly salted. You're going to see a lot of people say, liberally salted. You can only liberally salt it if you know your sauce is going to have... Hey, wait, where's the salt? Do you use salt?
I don't use salt because 2 packets of the Sazon will actually take over for the salt, and if it's added with the 2 packets, then it will just be too salty.
Nice. I didn't know that. So yeah, keep in mind that when you're salting your pasta, if you over salt it, it will come out in your dish, and then if you salt your dish, it'll be gross. So get the water boiling, just as you're starting this, and that way it'll be ready for you, and Sydney will show you how to do that. So let's get going on cooking.
Okay.
All right?
Yep.
Okay?
Okay.
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 Good?
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
A few moments later.
Okay, so Sydney has organized her ingredients so she can quickly get into the pan. I have shown this in prior videos, but want to take you through it just one more time. This is a butane stove. They're 20 bucks. The canisters are maybe like $5 to $10 for 3, and they're great. So if you ever lose power, if you're ever camping, if you ever start your own YouTube channel and need to cook in a place where it's convenient, these are great. So you take the butane canister, you just lay it down, you lock it with the lever, and once you do that, you actually could not put this away, so it doesn't let you forget. I mean, it's incredible. I got this at an Asian market. I'm sure you can get them on Amazon. They're great. You just can't beat them. So it's just like any stove. Once you put that in, you just turn it. It's got an igniter. Boom, fire. So Sydney's going to use this and put everything together. All right?
Yep.
You ready?
Yes.
All right. All right, Sid.
Okay.
What do we do first?
So first you're going to want to turn on the flame. Then what we're going to do first is just put in the whole stick of butter and let that melt just for a little bit. So you don't have to wait until the whole stick is melted to add your garlic, so I'll just continue to do that now.
What's that device in your hand?
It's a garlic crusher, so it just makes it easier than trying to fine chop it yourself. It just, that's all. And you can add more than one clove into this at once, so it goes a little faster.
So for those of you out there who prefer to slice or chop your garlic, that's great. The one thing this thing does do is it not only makes it easy and fast and gets you nice little pieces, if that's what you want, but it actually extracts a whole lot of extra flavor out of the garlic because it's macerating it. It's pretty much a ricer, and you get a lot more garlic flavor as a result.
That should be good.
Oh, that's good. That looks great already.
Alright, next you're going to want to add your cream cheese, which might take a little longer to melt because it'll almost melt in different pieces. So as much as you want to think that it's not working, it'll eventually melt with the rest.
So, Sydney, is milk also part of the standard recipe, or is that something you added too?
That's something I also added just to give more liquid for when it's mixed with the pasta, that it's not just sticking together. It's almost...
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just let the shrimp cook a little while longer before I add any of the other ingredients.
Any reason?
I'd like them to be a little cooked because shrimp do cook fast, so might as well just let them be almost done. Like hot sauce and milk don't need to be cooked through to be edible, so it's okay if you add them at the end.
12 seconds later.
Okay, I think now is a good time where you can just start adding the rest of your ingredients. So milk, then the Sazon. You can do the whole can of bottle of beer is good. And measure out 1/4 cup of hot sauce. And it's okay that if you taste it after and it's not as spicy as you want, feel free to add as much more hot sauce as you'd like. Okay. Now while that's cooking, I'll go over to add the pasta to the water. So this has been cooking now for 5 or so minutes, and it's close to done. Shrimp do cook pretty fast. So as I shut the heat off, I'll go check the pasta, and then we can just mix them together.
How do you know the shrimp is done?
They will turn pink and become firm.
Cool. And they turn pink because of a chemical in their body similar to lobsters that when it gets that much heat, it gets red, which is also why flamingos are pink because of the amount of shrimp they eat.
Oh, well.
All right, so what do we do next?
We can shut the heat off of this
Cool.
and check the pasta to make sure it's cooked.
All
Okay,
right.
so now that the pasta is cooked, all you do is just toss it in with the shrimp.
So what we didn't show you is we drained it, but do not rinse it because there is a thin starch layer on the pasta. It combines with the sauce to make it stick better. If you rinse it, you won't get that stickiness.
So all I do for final touches is just adding on some dried parsley flakes, just for a color contrast. And there you have it.
All right, let's take a look. For those of you who are trying to cut out carbs, I would strongly suggest ricing cauliflower instead of the pasta. Don't mix it. Just make the shrimp, get it all ready, rice your cauliflower onto a dish, put this on top. I might actually do that myself next week. So, all right, Sid, let's grab some forks. Let's see how it came out.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. You know, it's incredible when you mix the cream cheese and the milk as something extra.
Mm-hmm.
It gives it a bit of it gives it a richer mouthfeel.
Yeah.
So it not only has an amazing garlic with just the right amount of pepper flavor, that even the achiote adds, maybe it's a little bit of a fruity flavor to it. Even though it's kind of mild, when you bring that all together with the cream cheese, it doesn't taste cheesy.
No, not at all.
No, but it has a much better mouthfeel and a good stickiness. All right, official taster, come on. So let's see, what do you think? Yeah, suck it in there. Yeah. So what do you think?
It's really good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Sydney, for being our guest chef today. Thank you for being our official tester today, Lexi. Hey, we hope you enjoyed this. There's a lot more content coming. And don't forget what JP and I always say.
If you add the other ingredients first, then it'll get cooked too much, and no, that's not right. So I'd add, no. So I let the, wait, so I let the, so.
All right, cut. Okay, who wants some?
Me.